Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Monday. It's the week before spring break, so we got today, we got Wednesday, we got Friday, makeup day, and then we're out for a week. You might say that I'm in a great mood today. Why is that? Because my birthday is on Sunday. Yes, my birthday is on Sunday. Started spring break. I am aging another day, but that's okay. Let's get this started. I don't want this video to be that long. It is going to be a little titty bitty long just because we have an extra case that we need to talk about. But these are the cases, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, all positive. We got positive A, B, and C. Everything's going to be positive. If I have a positive B, negative C, large factors positive, smaller's negative, so on and so forth. Special case, got to look at the final examples. Put some couple of steps right there. Zoom in. Steps, set up your box method, place corresponding terms in the correct place. Then you got to multiply your A and your C. And then after you get that result, you make sure that your factors add up to the B term, which is that middle part, and then we'll be good to go. First example, 8x minus 14x plus 3. First, let's check it out. I got to see a negative and positive. Let me come up here. Negative and positive. Boom. Okay, negative and positive. That tells me both my factors are going to be negative. When we line them up, let's make sure we turn them all negative, and we see what adds to my B. Let's check it out. Okay. First, let's do the box. First, let me circle my B. This is my B term, so I'm going to put that over here. Let me do the box. So we got pew, 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 pew. A and C go in the correct spots. Remember from the beginning, 8x squared. Then we got a positive 3. All right. Next, remember, we're multiplying this times this equals 8 times 3 gives me, boom, 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 24. Oops. Next, we got to find all the factors of 24. And we need to remember from the case that we just did, everything's going to be negative. So let's do it. We got 1 and 24. That's negative, negative, because we need to see who adds to that. We have 2 and 12, negative, negative. 3 and 8, negative, negative. 4 and 6, negative, negative. Now we add everything to make sure who gives me this negative 14 that I could put these guys over here, and then we'll go from there. All right. Negative 1 plus negative 24 gives me negative 25. That's not it. Negative 2 plus negative 12, that gives me negative 14. Okay, I'm going to put a question mark, maybe. Negative 3 plus negative 8, that's negative 11. Not it. Negative 4 plus negative 6, that's negative 10. That's not it. So we got negative 2 and negative 12. Bring those guys over here. Nah, let's leave it a blue. Negative 2x, negative 12x. Don't forget that the x's are there because that's the way the box method was when we multiplied, so don't forget that. Next, we got to be able to take some stuff out. This is where we find the greatest common factor going up, going up, going side, going side. Check it out. So I know x squared means that there's going to be an x right here and right here. Okay? And usually we would be able to say, okay, I know 8 is a multiple of 2 and 4, so great. We know that there's has to be a 2 and a 4 right here. But how do we determine that? We got to look upwards, and we need to say, what does 8 and 2 have in common? Well, I know both of these numbers can be divided by 2. So I can put the 2 right there because I know that 2 goes into 8 and 2 goes into 2. Okay, but we're looking for the greatest common factor of it. If you need to do some research, go online, put greatest common factor of such and it should give you the answer also. Okay. And now This should make it easier. What number times 2 gives me 8? 4. And now we could go to the outsides. What number times 2 gives me negative 2? Take your time. Negative 1. What number times 4 gives me negative 12? Take your time. 4 times negative 3 will give me 12. How do we double check that? What's negative 1 times negative 3? Positive 3, so check mark. There's my answer. We have 2x negative 3 and then 4x minus 1. This is my answer. I did that pretty quickly. Hopefully you caught it. If you need to rewatch it, go ahead. How do I check my answer? If you need to do this box method, you put it right here. You should get all the information, which leads to this answer also. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Next one. Positive you need to watch. I'm going to keep going. Next example. Two negatives, two minus signs come to the top. Two minus signs, boom. Large factor is negative, small factor is positive. So the bigger numbers are negative. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to circle negative 8. Negative 8 is the person I want. Oh, the Y. Box. Got 3y squared. Got negative 3. Multiply these two guys. 3 times negative 3 gives me negative 9. Factors of negative 9. So we got 1 and 9. Bigger number is negative from the cases above. 3 and 3, negative. These are the same number, so I'm just making sure that these numbers are negative. Is that it? I think that's it. So now let's add them. 1 plus negative 9, negative 8. That looks pretty good. 3 plus negative 3, 0. Not good. So we got my factors. 1x, negative 9x. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not x, it's y. Sorry. Y, negative 9y. And now we just start doing the good stuff. Take this y squared, y goes right here, y goes right here. And now we find the greatest common factors. So I know 3 is 1 times 3. If I'm looking upwards, what does 1 and 3 have in common with? Of course, 1. And now I could break everything down. What number times 1 gives me 3? 3. What number times 1 gives me 1? Positive 1. What number times 3 gives me negative 9? Negative 3. How do we double check? 1 times negative 3 gives me negative 3. Looks good to go. 1y minus 3 and 3y plus 1. How do I check it? Box method. See if it matches that, which it should be. Awesome possum, ladies and gentlemen. Positive, you need to look at it. Let's go. All positive, that tells me I don't even have to look up there. All positive tells me it's positive. Let's work it. Okay. Circle 11, because that's what I want. 11F. Box. 2F squared. 9. 2 times 9. 18. Factor of 18. Everything stays positive, so we should be all right. 1 times, 1 and 18. 2 and 9. 3 and 6. 4, no. 5, no. 6 is right there. Everything's positive, so now we add across. 1 plus 18, 19. That's not it. 2 plus 9, 11. That's a possibility. 3 plus 6, 9. Boom. Got our factors, 2 and 9. Come over here, it's f, so we got 2f, 9f, and then we start working to the outside. F squared tells me there's an f and an f. What does 2 and 2 have in common? They're both divisible by 2. And now let's work outside. 2 times something gives me 2. 2 times 1. Then we go down to the bottom. 2 times something gives me 2. Positive 1. 1 times something gives me 9. Positive 9. How do we check? 1 times 9 gives me 9. Boom. We got 2f plus 9. And then we have 1f plus 1. Check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. It's actually pretty easy once you start. Hey, I need to know my times tables. How do you know your times tables? You learned it in elementary, so it's no excuse if you don't know your multiplication tables. Your job to learn it, not my job. Your job to learn it because multiplying and dividing is not that difficult, especially when I'm giving you pretty easy numbers to divide and multiply. All right, here we go. Positive, negative. Let's look at the case real quick. Positive, negative. Positive, negative, pop, boom. Large factor is positive, small one is negative, so small numbers are negative. Okay. I think this is the last one before we get into special cases. Box method. Don't forget 24 is coming over here because that's who I'm following. Okay, we got 5x squared and a negative 5. Okay. What do we do first? Multiply 5 times negative 5, negative 25. That's who I'm factoring. Factor that. It's negative 25. Okay, so we have 1 and 25. Don't forget the case that the smaller number is negative. 2, no. 3, no. 4, no. 5, yeah. 5 times 5. Smaller number is negative. Anything else? Nope. Let's add across. Negative 1 plus 25. Calculator. 24. That looks pretty good. Negative 5 times 5. That's 0. Not good. So we found my two factors. Negative 1x and 25x. Come over here. Negative 1x, 25x. X squared tells me there's an x and an x right there. What does 1 and 5 have in common? They're both divisible by 1. And now we could work it out. What number times 1 gives me 5? 5. What number times 1 gives me negative 1? Negative 1. What number times 5 gives me 25? Positive 5. How do I check? Negative 1 times 5 gives me negative 5. Answer is 1x plus 5x, 5x minus 1. Check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. Multiplication and division. That's all it is. I'm giving you the easiest way to reference back to for the cases, and you should have no problem. Use your case chart. You should be good. All right, the last two examples, special cases, there is no b value, so b value is 0. What does that mean? There is no middle part with the variable, in this case, x and f. So these are two separate problems. So what do I do? Telling you right now, when you do your box, you put 36x squared and negative 49. You're always going to get a negative c value because that means I have a positive and a negative number. Okay? It's going to be super easy, I promise. So first, let's break it down. I know that's x squared, so it's x and x. Now ask yourselves, which two numbers are the same that multiply to 36? Pretty simple. It's basically you're taking the square root of it, which is 6 times 6, because I know 6 times 6 gives me 36. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Next, 49. Which two numbers that are the same give me 49? This is where your multiplication skills come into attack, because you should know the same numbers that multiply each other to give me 49 are 7. But because it's a negative 7, you need to remember, let's make this positive, let's make this negative. And you'll see when we fill in these two other ones and we add them, it'll give you 0, which is that 0 in the middle. 6 times negative 7, that's negative 42x. 6 times positive 7, that's positive 42x. When you add these together, if we put it all together, say 36x squared plus 42x minus 42x minus 49. We can see that these are partners, and that gives me 0x. And guess what? This matches this. So we did it correct. So what is my answer? 6x plus 7, 6x minus 7. And that's it. So if we do this one over here real quick, we don't need to prove it, but I just wanted to show you what should be my answer. Box real quick. 16f squared negative 25. What numbers, I'm sorry, f, what numbers give me 16? 4 times 4. Positive, negative. What numbers give me 25? 5 times 5. Boom, boom. 4f plus 5. 4f minus 5. And that's it. Special cases, pretty simple, pretty straightforward, I hope. What time is it? Please make sure that if you need to come to tutorials, that's at 10 o'clock in about 40 minutes. I'll be on. Make sure you have any questions. Don't forget tutorials are also at 1 o'clock, so if you need some help with this stuff, please let me know. Please make sure before you come to tutorials, I do not want to know that you don't know your times tables. Make sure you know your times tables. Make sure you know how to multiply and divide. Okay? Y'all have a terrific day. Make sure you do the quiz and discussion for sure. And I think that's it. Y'all have a terrific day.